not yet been marked.
Okay.
So that would be 22.
22.
Okay, thank you. And for the record, this is a 2-page document, and it's email exchange between you and Mr. Newton on June 1st, correct?
Correct.
And under his electronic signature, or it indicates his name, and then he was an HR specialist with Brown County.
Yes, an HR generalist.
Or I'm sorry, generalist with Brown County. And so if there were for any HR issues involving folks working at CTC, was Mr. Newton your partner, your HR partner?
Yes.
And you sent a letter to, or I'm sorry, you sent an email to Mr. Newton at 3:18 p.m. that afternoon. That started it off. And do you remember what led you to prepare that email to him?
I think just the pattern of her repeated behaviors. There was a lot of being defiant with myself, being defiant with Tammy, being defiant with Luke from HR. She would, I don't know how to describe this, but almost have like temper tantrums in the nurses station with staff around, and staff were concerned that they even had to work with her. I mean, it was her behavior was erratic and unprofessional.
And so in this document, this email to Mr. Newton, were you recommending that Ms. Devlin be placed on a performance improvement plan and setting forth the reasons why?
Correct.
And why a performance improvement plan as opposed to counseling or discipline?
She had already had discipline in the past, write-ups. I can't tell you how many or what necessarily they were for. But the performance improvement plans are designed to help the employee, help them stay employed, because she was a good nurse and she was a good charge nurse when she was doing well. But like I said, there were certain behaviors that needed to be improved. She didn't get along with a lot of people, unfortunately. So I was trying to retain her employment by providing this to her.
In terms of working with her?
Yes.
Okay. If I can direct your attention to the next tabbed R11, and Judge Gelhard, this is a new exhibit as well.
Okay. Okay, this will be exhibit 23.
Thank you. And Ms. Wood, are you there, Ms. Woodward?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And so for the record, this is a June 11, 2020 email from you to Ms. Devlin, and the subject was NPC groups and BH assessments. And what was the purpose, or what were you communicating to Ms. Devlin in that email that's been marked as exhibit 23?
Looks like she had not been performing her 1600 groups. And I was giving her education that these weren't optional, that we had been out of compliance in the past, which we went through a survey and we're actually cited for not doing these groups, which is why I was really stressing the importance of them. Not only that, what because it's part of treatment for patients. It was an important group to have. And then I also see that RN assessments on Bay Haven were not being completed.
And what's an RN assessment?
For new admissions, an RN has to do a basic, I'm not even sure exactly there was several assessments that were involved, like things that the CNAs over there couldn't do. So you have to be a licensed nurse to do that. Things like fall risk assessments, basic head to toe assessments, things like that.
Now, we've heard some testimony, Bay Haven, and I don't know if I know that the side that you worked on or that Ms. Devlin worked on was called Nicolay. Is my understanding?
We both worked on both sides.
Okay. And was there a difference between Bay Haven and Nicolay in terms of, and when you talk about, are they patients? Are they residents? Is it a combination of the two?
We called them all clients. But the Bay Haven was a community-based residential facility that was basically a short-term crisis stabilization unit. So it was essentially an unlocked psychiatric unit. People came in to get med adjustments or came in for crisis that didn't necessarily mean that they needed a locked psychiatric hospital.
Okay, and then Nicolay?
Nicolay is a locked psychiatric facility.
And so in Exhibit 23, were you just simply reiterating and communicating, meaning you understand she wasn't performing the 1,600 groups and just simply reiterating the importance of her performing that function?
Correct.
Okay. If I can direct your attention to the next tab, please, R12. And Judge Gelhardt, this has already been marked as Exhibit 2. Are you there, Ms. Woodward?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Is Exhibit 2, so Exhibit 2 is the performance improvement plan. And does Exhibit 2 incorporate the contents of your June 1st email to Mr. Newton that's under tab R10?
Yes.
Okay. And with respect to the drafting of the document, the performance improvement plan before it was given to Ms. Devlin, were you involved in the drafting? Can you just explain, if you know, how this document itself was prepared?
Yes. I would have prepared this document and then had HR review it.
And so the date of the performance improvement, the period of time was June 19, 2020 to September 19, 2020. Why was that period of time selected?
I honestly don't recall.
Okay. Now, I believe under the specific areas concerned, there were 5 different areas, correct? In each of the paragraphs.
Yes.
Okay. And there had been testimony about the fact that the first 2 paragraphs, the events in January and February of 2020 occurred before her performance, Ms. Devlin's performance improvement plan, or I'm sorry, before her performance evaluation, her annual evaluation. Why were those events, incidents included in the performance improvement plan? Do you remember?
I don't necessarily specifically recall, but I'm assuming to point out a pattern of her behavior.
Okay. And in the first one, it's involving coworkers, or a coworker, correct? and the second one is
Mhm.
involving a Green Bay police lieutenant.
Yes,
The third one was involving you, and I think this is the incident that we had previously discussed, where on April 24, 2020, you had given her a directive to obtain a specimen from a client on Bay Haven. She had refused to do so and stated you're the DO and you do it.
correct.
And you note that this interaction was witnessed by two other nurses in the nurses station, okay? And then the incident in June involved, I believe, that the dental appointment, and June 11th dealt with the 1,600 groups, correct?
Correct.
And so then if we turn to the next page, Ms. Woodward, there are some sections, the strategies, the expected performance outcomes, performance change expectations. What was the purpose of those sections within the performance improvement plan?
Basically for more direct supervisor oversight, to make sure that she's getting the proper training if she wasn't able to complete those tasks without assistance. The purpose of having those biweekly meetings was so that we could meet and make sure we're on the same page with everything and make sure that she's making progress in this performance improvement plan.
Was your recommendation to place Ms. Devlin on a performance improvement plan because she took FMLA leave?
Absolutely not.
Was it because because you were discriminating against her in any fashion?
No.
If I can direct your attention to the next tab of R13, and Judge Gellhardt, this
Attorney Nelson, you were kind of bringing up, right? I didn't hear basically.
sorry, R13.
Okay. Has that been marked already, or
Yes,
or no?
it's exhibit 3.
I didn't hear you.
And now you're breaking up a little bit too. It was previously marked as exhibit 3.
So you said R13 3. Okay.
Yep. Exhibit 3, yes, sir.
All righty.
Ms. Woodward, have you seen this document before?
I don't specifically recall it, but I'm sure I did.
Okay, and I'll represent you that this document marked as exhibit 3 is Ms. Devlin's rebuttal to the performance improvement plan. Knowing that, does that reflect your recollection as to whether or not this is a document you would have seen before?
This either would have gone to me or to HR.
Okay. If I can direct your attention, tab R14. And this document was previously marked as
14.
Yes. And this was previously marked
Okay.
as exhibit 15. This is a July 16, 2020 email from Rachel Devlin to you and to Mr. Newton. And if you wanted to just read the email to yourself, just
Okay.
a question or two.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Did you have a chance to read the document?
Yes. Yeah, I'm reading
just
it
to
right
clarify,
now. Yep, I got it.
we're on trial exhibit 14?
Exhibit 15, Judge.
15, okay.
It's under tab R14.
Okay.
And in this email, Ms. Devlin was making a proposal to you and to Mr. Newton in terms of moving to a floor nurse position on the PM shift. Do you remember that proposal being placed on the table by her?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. Do you remember, Ms. After being placed on the performance improvement plan, do you remember Ms. Devlin coming to you and to Mr. Newton proposing that she would move to a floor nurse position on the PM shift?
Yes.
And was that something you and Mr. Newton talked about?
I would assume we did. I can't specifically recall whether we talked about that or not. I can say from experience that when a staff member is either on a performance improvement plan or have a certain amount of disciplinary action, like so many months, I think it's 6 months or something like that, they can't take a different position. So that may have been a reason why we chose not to do that.
Okay. I'm showing you, actually, I'm moving on to tab R16. And Judge Gelhardt, this is a new exhibit, please.
Okay. Okay, I think we're on exhibit 24.
You are correct. Ms. Woodward, the bottom email, email started with Samantha Bailing. And what position did Ms. Bailing hold within the organization at CTC?
Administrator.
And in that position, what were her, can you just explain what her job duties were?
She had oversight of Nicolay Hospital, Bay Haven, and the nursing home. So she, obviously she was my supervisor. She supervised all of the inpatient areas.
Okay. And she, on August 14th, early afternoon, she sent an email to Mr. Newton and to you, identifying, and the subject was RD PIP. Do you remember receiving and reviewing this email?
Yes, I do.
And it had to do with an incident, a reported incident, or incident reported by one of the nurses, one of the floor nurses, that occurred on August 13th, 2020, involving Ms. Devlin and her behavior and language that day, correct?
Correct.
And in terms of what's reported here from the nurse, was that similar to what had been reported or you had observed in the past?
Yes.
And was this type of behavior that was identified or that had been reported to Ms. Bailing on August 14th, 2020, as reflected in Exhibit 24, conduct and behavior that was part of the performance improvement plan in terms of correcting?
I don't know if this specific instance was, but I think there was something about professionalism, and I can't say exactly without looking at it.
Oh, sure. And then later, a little over an hour later that same day, Ms. Bailing sent another email to you and Mr. Newton, and now added Karen Navin. Who is Ms. Navin?
I don't know exact title, but she's, I believe, an HR supervisor.
Okay. And in terms of that second email from Ms. Bailing, was she reporting or addressing another nurse's report with respect to Ms. Devlin that day?
Yes.
Do you recall, after receiving and reviewing the two emails, taking any immediate action? Whether it be with Ms. Devlin, talking with Ms. Bailing, talking with anyone in HR?
I honestly don't recall.
Okay. If I can direct your attention, Ms. Woodward, to tab R17. And this document, Judge Gelhardt, was previously marked as Exhibit 10.
Okay.
And the top email from Ms. Bailing to you and to Ms. Navin on August 17th, 2020 at 4 p.m. It addressed Ms. Bailing's PIP conversation with Ms. Devlin concerning that incident the week before, correct?
Correct.
Or a few days before.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember having any conversation with Ms. Bailing that day, August 17th of 2020, regarding the contents of her email?
I don't recall.
If I can direct your attention to the next tab, pages R18.
You broke up there. What
Under
was that?
tab, I'm sorry, Judge, tab R18.
Is that a new exhibit?
No, Your Honor, it's been marked as Exhibit 7.
7. Okay.
And for the record, these are 3 employee attendance correction action forms with the dates of January 23, 2020, March 10, 2020, and August 21, 2020. Are these familiar to you, Ms. Woodward?
Yes.
And these are corrective action forms that you prepared?
Yes.
For Ms. Devlin? And do these reflect progressive discipline?
Yes.
And with respect to can you just explain what the purpose of these 3 forms was?
Basically keeping track of her late days and tardy days, any non-FMLA sick days. And then, like you said, it's progressive.
Okay. If I can direct your attention to tab R19. And this is previously marked as Exhibit 17. This is the last chance agreement, correct?
Correct.
Did you have any role in the drafting of this document?
No, this would have been something HR prepared, I believe.
Did you have any role in deciding, because she was still, during this period of time, she was still in the performance improvement plan window, correct?
Correct.
And did you have any role in the decision to place her on a last chance agreement?
I don't specifically recall, but I'm sure that I did as her direct supervisor.
if I can turn you, have you turn to the second page of the exhibit?
Mhm.
I see that there's a signature, looks like Ms. Devlin's signature, correct?
Correct.
And then the supervisor, is that your signature?
Yes.
And then Human Resources Representative, was that Mr. Newton?
Yes.
And going back to the first page of the last chance agreement, it explains what the disciplinary action being taken and why. And it had to do with the unprofessional comments and using profanity on August 13, 2020 in the presence of her subordinates, correct?
Correct.
And then it references the June 19th, 2020 performance improvement plan. And that specific areas where improvement was needed included communication and professionalism, which communication, professionalism, professional attitude, taking direction daily 1,600 nursing group tasks, and timely completion of New Bay Haven client RN assessments. And so certainly her reported conduct on August 13th would have been in violation of the performance improvement plan, correct?
Correct.
And you'd agree that this document put Ms. Devlin on notice that any violation of Brown County policies, practices, and procedures during the next 12 months will result in immediate termination.
Correct.
And from your standpoint, Ms. Woodward, she placed on the last chance agreement because of her use of FMLA leave?
No.
Was she placed on a last chance agreement because of any claimed disability?
No.
Was Ms. Devlin placed on a last chance agreement as a form because the county was discriminating against her?
No, absolutely not.
Was the purpose of the last chance agreement really to give her the last chance to improve in the areas that had been identified in the performance improvement plan in an effort to help her keep her job?
Yes.
If I can direct your attention, please, to tab R20. And Judge Gelhard, this is a new exhibit.
All right, this will be 25.
Yep, thank you. Ms. Woodward, this is a 2-page document starting with an email from a KK to you on August 31st.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to just review to familiarize yourself. I just have one or two questions.
Okay.
And the subject line was group charting, and it is my understanding that these emails concerned the 1,600 group.
Yes.
And what was your understanding in terms of what was being reported to you?
My understanding was that they were not going on, that the charge nurse, Rachel, was not completing these groups, and also that she was falsifying documentation stating that she was doing the groups
When someone else was?
when no one was.
Okay. And the 1,600 group, this had been communicated, as we've discussed in terms of your testimony, this had been addressed with her.
Correct.
That's correct. And was it also part of the performance improvement plan?
Yes.
Okay. If I can direct your attention to tab 21. I'm not. Actually, I'll skip over that tab. If I may, direct your attention instead to tab 22. And Judge Gelhard, this was previously marked as Exhibit 19.
All right.
Ms. Woodward, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. This is a September 1, 2020 email from you to Ms. Bailing regarding follow-up NPC group. And I know some of the names have been redacted, and those redactions were made to protect privacy. But in terms of the content, have you had a chance to review the email, your email to Ms. Bailing?
Yep, I'm almost done.
Please take your time.
Okay.
And what were you, in terms of the email, why did you send that email to Ms. Bailing?
Basically as just to prove that there was more of a pattern that these groups were not being completed.
Did you speak with Ms. Bailing after you sent the email, before you sent the email? Do you recall?
I don't recall.
If I can direct your attention to tab 23. And Judge Gelhard, this was previously marked as Exhibit 18.
Okay.
And this document is Brown County Report of Disciplinary Action Taken, correct?
Correct.
And this is the document, the discipline that was being imposed was termination effective September 4, 2020. Correct?
Correct.
Were you involved in the decision to terminate Ms. Devlin's employment?
I believe there was a conversation about it. I was not there to carry out the termination. This was Sam and Samantha Bailing and Luke Newton.
And it states that on August 26, 2020 and August 28, 2020, you were delegated the 1600 group therapy to subordinate employees without a reason of an emergency. Both your PIP and your last chance agreement have specific requirements that you need to complete these group therapy sessions as part of your job duties. Was that your understanding as to the bases for the decision to terminate Ms. Devlin's employment?
Yes.
Meaning, okay. And with respect to the termination meeting that was held on September 4, 2020, it's my understanding, Ms. Woodward, that you did not attend that meeting. Is my understanding correct?
That's correct. I had the day off. I was out of town. I also wanted to separate myself from the situation because of our personal relationship.
In terms of your friendship.
Right.